Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Today on The Young and the Restless, Billy struggles to juggle work and family. Chance confides in Summer, and Lucy faces the music. Credit: CBS screenshot. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, Soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. At Abbott Chancellor, Billy gets stressed out on the phone over the budget. He calls about the press release next and orders someone to send it over so he can sign off. His phone rings and he tells the person that they're launching tomorrow and he needs to handle catering. After yet another tense call, Katie appears and asks, "Dad, are you okay?" Billy kisses her head and she realizes he forgot they made lunch plans today. Billy claims he didn't forget, but she's not buying it. Billy assures her they'll have lunch. Katie's glad because she has a problem to discuss. In Chancellor Park, Chance paces and then sits on the bench. Summer appears and kisses him. She's dying to tell them her good news. Chance wants to know what put that smile on her face. Summer says, "You did." Her life is finally firing on all cylinders, and it's largely due to him. Chance isn't sure what he had to do with it. Summer said she and Kyle are meeting with their lawyers to reach a custody agreement, which was his suggestion. She also worked hard to ease the tension with Claire. She has to thank him for being her sounding board. He gave her a lot to think about. His advice made her see things from a different perspective. She can get heated and be stubborn, but she does listen. He's a good influence on her, and she's lucky to have him to turn to. Summer tells Chance there's more good news. Lucy and Faith are okay. Lucy has been released and will have to face Daniel's wrath. Faith is still in the hospital, but her dad is hoping she'll be released later. Summer gushes that things are also going great at work. Chance is impressed and a little jealous. Summer sighs and asks what Billy's done now. Chance says Billy is wearing him out. He's just about done with him, and what's going on with Chancellor? There's been another shakeup behind the scenes. He confides that Billy gave Lily the boot. Summer is scandalized and asks, what is going on with him? Chance says he's paranoid and feels he can't trust anyone. His megalomania is in overdrive. Summer can't believe Billy is taking such big risks with the company. But then again, it's very Billy. Chance has a sense of loyalty to the company and his grandmother's legacy, especially now that Billy's added Abbott to the company name. He feels he owes it to her. Summer argues that he owes Billy nothing. The more she thinks about it, she thinks he's right. Billy could throw him overboard. No one would blame him for getting out before it gets really messy. Chance says with Lily gone it already has. He confesses he's considering a radical and risky option. Summer muses that sometimes with Billy that's what you need. At Society, Katie gripes about her dad for getting their lunch even though he denies it. He asks if she wants to talk about Claire. Katie says her half-sister isn't her problem right now. Katie wants to talk about her sports team. But Billy gets interrupted by a call. Katie tells him she wants to be captain, but her dad has to take another call. She starts talking again, only for his phone to start ringing. Katie looks fed up. Billy takes the call and tells the person that Lily's no longer with the company and they'll have to deal with him. When he disconnects, Katie tells him he shouldn't have just told her he didn't have time for lunch. When his phone rings anew, Katie asks, "Dad, don't you care about what's going on with me?" At Crimson Lights, Lucy complains about her parents making her come there. They were told to keep a close watch on her. Lucy snarks that they're making sure she's okay before letting her have it. They head to the patio, where Lucy just wants the lecture and punishment. The stress of waiting will kill her. Heather and Daniel have to figure out what's going on with her. Why the sudden turn to alcohol? Daniel tells Lucy they should talk to a professional. Heather agrees. There is something deeper going on here. They care about her too much to let it get worse. Lucy shrugs that she'll talk to a therapist. Are they done now? Daniel frowns. What do you think? Daniel stresses to his daughter that she broke the law. How could she steal a bottle and guzzle it down after everything they talked about? What if she had gotten behind the wheel of a car? She knows how badly things can go wrong. She's lucky nobody got killed. Lucy swears she learned her lesson. Daniel scoffs that that's what she said last time. Then she betrayed their trust and ignored her punishment. Lucy's sorry. Heather says that's not enough. I hope you're ready because you're going to have to deal with some tough sentencing. At the hospital, Faith sleeps, and Sharon asks Nick why they're not letting Faith go. Lucy already left. Nick is sure it's just the extra tests needed because of her kidney transplant. Sharon fears something is wrong, and the accident did damage. Nick's sure Faith is fine. Phyllis arrives with a teddy bear, and Nick tells her Lucy has gone home. Phyllis knows. She wanted to check on Faith. How is she? Sharon snaps that they don't know and can't seem to get any answers. She informs Phyllis that it's not a good time for a visit. Phyllis leaves the teddy bear on Faith's bed and steps out. Nick thanks her for coming and apologizes for Sharon, who's on edge right now. They discuss Faith's doctors being cautious. Phyllis knows he's worried. Nick admits it's scary. The longer it takes to get answers, the more wound up he's getting. And that's the last thing Sharon needs to see. Behind the curtain, Faith wakes up and asks Sharon about Lucy. Sharon says they sent her home with a clean bill of health. Faith is glad, but wonders why she's still there. She figures she really messed up her body with the truck accident before, and that's why. Sharon tries to reassure her. Faith hopes Adam didn't give her his kidney only for her to mess up again. Sharon insists she did nothing wrong. In the waiting area, Phyllis tells Nick she's sure this is very hard for him and Sharon. You're a great dad, you know that. She always admires how calm he is in a crisis. Nick just wants the doctors to tell him he can take his baby girl home. Phyllis touches his cheek and tells him she's sure they'll be along with the release paperwork soon. Sharon appears from behind the curtain and takes in the close moment. Sharon interrupts and insists Nick come and see Faith, noting that she thought Phyllis would be gone by now. Phyllis says she's on her way out and asks them to give Faith her love. Faith hears her voice and calls to her to come in. Sharon and Nick exchange a glance. Phyllis tells Faith that she brought her a teddy bear. Faith apologizes to the redhead and hopes she's not mad at her. In the waiting room, Sharon complains to Nick that Faith doesn't need to be taxed right now. Nick thinks it might be good for her to have a visitor. Sharon doesn't see Phyllis as a calming influence. Nick decides they need answers about Faith's condition and goes off to find the doctor. At Crimson Lights, Summer joins Heather, Daniel, and Lucy and tells her niece she's glad she's oak, but hopes she'll do better. Lucy gripes that she's about to receive her sentence. She knows what she did was wrong, so she's ready to face it. Daniel tells his daughter he and her mother thought long and hard about this and want to impress upon her the severity of her actions. If she'd been charged with underage drinking, she'd have been fined. Want her to donate the same amount of money to Cassie's foundation. She also would have been sentenced to 32 hours of community service, so they want her to do that as well. They've also decided she can't take driver's ed this year. She's so lucky this is not going on her record. Lucy snarks that she's feeling really lucky. She wants to go home. At Society, Billy tells Katie he's sorry. He's been distracted. There's a lot going on right now with the company. Katie hears that his problems are more important than hers. He's sorry he made her feel that way and explains that everything he's doing is for her and Johnny. One day they'll inherit a company with their names on it. He turns off his phone to give her his full attention. Katie complains that she's the best choice for team captain, but she has to convince the rest of the team without stepping on toes. Billy asks why she thinks that, and she gives her list of reasons. Her dad tells her she's confident, determined, and skilled, but if she doesn't get picked, it's not the end of the world. She will keep trying until she gets it right. Katie insists, I'm going to do this. Billy grins. She'll prove to everyone that she deserved it all along. At Crimson Lights, Daniel knows that Summer thinks they're being too hard on Lucy. Summer says it's not her place to pass judgment. They explain it's not the first time she drank. Summer gets it. What Lucy did is reckless, but she's not sure her niece gets it yet. She actually thinks they're being too lenient with her. Daniel gawps, really? Summer wishes she'd felt the weight of her choices when she was younger. Heather thinks Lucy is more concerned with the punishment than what she did. Summer thinks that admitting what she did is more important. She suggests she make her write a letter of apology to Faith and her family. Lucy has been incredibly impulsive and thoughtless. Make her think about it. Daniel and Heather nod. He says she's right. It's their responsibility to make sure she feels what she's done, or she could end up making the same deadly mistake he did. Billy brings Katie into the office and Chance teases about putting her to work. Katie gets a text from her mom and has to go. She thanks her dad for his advice. Once alone, Billy asks if Chance came to apologize for overstepping earlier. Chance replies, not exactly. He thinks it's time he made some things clear. In the hospital, Phyllis asks Faith why she be mad at her. Faith thinks this was all her fault. She was driving and took her eyes off the road. I just lost control. Phyllis assures her she did nothing wrong. Lucy reached out to her, and she came to her rescue. Faith worries she shouldn't have ignored her, and this wouldn't have happened. Phyllis says something worse could have happened. She could have gotten into a stranger's car. Faith did the right thing. I'm so grateful, and this is not your fault. You are not to blame, and neither is Lucy. No one is to blame. Listening at the curtain, Sharon frowns. Cameron appears and says they both know that's not true. They know exactly who to blame, and it's time real consequences are faced. Next on The Young and the Restless. Nikki provides Victor with valuable intel about Billy, Kyle makes a confession to Claire, and Lily shares disturbing news with Jack.